Welcome back to the channel and we're smoking all my dragons, divine righteous, almighty greats overachieving, never slacking. So today we're going to talk about the differences between you and American homes, which right now I'm taking y'all on a walk so we could really discuss this and see the big difference. So I wrote down a couple notes. Here we go. UK houses are a lot smaller than American houses. It says on average UK houses are about 818 square feet, and on average UK houses are about 2,164 square feet. Now, to touch on that, guys, we like our space in America. Like, we like big. You know, you often hear phrases from certain states, like out in Texas, you'll hear everything's bigger in Texas. Like, Americans, we like big. That's our thing. Now, don't get me wrong, as I get older, I used to, when I was a kid, want the big, you know, the mansion. But I actually starting to prefer just cute and small. Really, because I'm realizing that the bigger things are, all that work, it can be a headache. Houses in America, they tend to be on the bigger side. Which is why a lot of handymen are always needed. Like right now, there's a sign up there that says handyman with a phone number. So if you're in America and you can zoom in on that sign, I'm giving free promotion to that person's business. But yeah, we like bigger, right? So another thing that's really different is attached versus detached houses. In the U.S., detached houses are very common, as you guys can see now. As I walk through the neighborhood, you don't see any attached houses. So in the U.S., detached houses are very common. The exceptions are in larger cities with dense populations, whereas in the UK, shared walls are very common. In America, we like our space, and if you live in America, you'll learn to like your space. If you're new to America, I should say, you will learn to like your space, because people it's such a melting pot with so much different ideologies, so much different races, so much different just thought processes that people tend to get into it a lot. You know, people tend to argue, and there's always some fighting going on, and usually it'd be about the most pettiest stuff. So you'll learn to really want your space out here, as much space as possible. So that's one. I really believe that's why they did do that in America, though, because America, they fight a lot. Like, it's been a lot of fighting out here, you know, a lot of fighting, a lot of just petty fighting. And I feel like whoever designed these neighborhoods, I guess they must have known already, like, listen, just keep people apart. You know, keep people apart. Throw all the poor people, throw them together and put them in public housing. But when they get a little bit of money, let's just make sure no matter what, everybody has their own space and enough space. Because I did notice that in the UK, they're so much more attached over there. Like, their houses. I've even heard a lot of people, especially rappers in the UK, they'll say yard a lot, like my yard. Like, if someone in the comments could break that down for me, my yard, like, I'm not really sure too much what that means. So in Britain, you got flats. In America, we call those just apartments, right? We just, it's an apartment. A masonette, if I pronounced it right, in Britain, a masonette. And in American, we would just say that's a blend between a townhouse and a condo. Semi-detached, for us, that's just a duplex. A duplex, like a half house, which I just passed one. And then you guys got a bungalow. And in America, we just call that a single-story detached home. So pretty much I'm passing a bunch of bungalows. If I'm talking UK language. So also in the UK, it said you guys don't have much air conditioning. I guess the temperatures don't usually get too hot, but when they do, I hear it be blazing out there with them heat waves. That almost right there could be considered a tiny home. And tiny homes in America are definitely getting a lot more popular because it's so expensive in America. Like, it really is. It's just expensive, really expensive. Unless you go out somewhere where there's not much people and somewhere where people really aren't investing in. But you would be far away from everything. But, you know, unless you're doing that, you're going to end up paying a pretty penny out here. So there's a lot of people who are actually investing into tiny homes in America. And yeah, I've been seeing that more and more. You know, people, campers, all that good stuff. So that's pretty awesome. How you doing today? That's a beautiful dog you got. Chocolate Lab?
Yeah, it's a lab.
That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah?
Well, Rottweiler's my favorite, but that's up there. But yeah, as you guys can see, I'm a very friendly guy, you know, very friendly. But anyways, so in the UK they don't have much much air conditioning, and in America that's everywhere. That's everywhere. See, one thing I can say though is in the UK, y'all a little more smart, because I've heard people say, you know, air conditioning is not good for the air. It's not, and y'all, that's true. It's very true. And y'all seem like y'all care so much more about the environment, and me being about nature and, you know, being just loving nature so much. Like, I really do respect that. You know, I see a lot of places where people are just pollute the area or leave their garbage around, and that bothers me. So just the fact that you guys are willing to sacrifice being so hot on those certain days, you know, just for the environment, just for the air, I'm not gonna lie, that gives me a big amount of respect for the UK. Radiating heating. It says you could find, I wrote down a bunch of notes, guys, so, you know, I'm kind of stumbling over my own handwriting here. Jeez, where did I learn to write? You can find radiators in much older homes in the US, but most have forced air heating. It also says there's not much usable basements in the UK, mostly built for cold storage. See, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about that because in America, we love our, as we call, man caves. We love our man caves. We love those. So we tend to look for nice basements, you know, nice finished basements, and it don't necessarily got to be too big, but just something very nice that us men that we could turn into our hideout, you know, our honeycomb hideout, our man cave. So I guess that would be a con for me, the fact that you guys don't really have usable basements like that. So, you know, but who knows, maybe in the newer homes that be built, maybe that's changing. Let me know in the comments. And if you're somebody out there in the UK who has a very nice man cave, you know, or woman cave, then let me know in the comments, and, you know, show me that I'm wrong on that end, because these are just notes I picked up doing a little bit of research. It also says there's no window screens in the UK. Yeah, see, I don't know if it's the same with the bugs, but in America we have a lot of bugs. Like, I'm actually getting bit up right now. We have creepy crawlers everywhere. Like, you know, those real long centipedes. Ugh. Yeah, no fun. So we, you know, the window screens are like, that's super necessary out here. That is just absolutely super necessary. I'm not sure why, if that's true, from my homework, I'm not sure why that's a thing, but window screens are very important out here. It also says there's not much built-in closets out in UK homes. And once again, that's another thing that's very big with us. out here in America, we like everything big. Big closets, that's something that we are definitely into. Especially a lot of women like those closets, those built-in closets, those big ones. So, but it makes sense, with houses being smaller in the UK. I just feel like people in the UK, they're more simple. I feel like Americans are a lot more just, I need extra, extra. Like it's kind of like it goes back to that competition mindset too, It's like you always want to be kind of better than your neighbor a little bit. That's how it is in America. You kind of always want to, you want to show off a little bit. That's the American way. You go out to the country, you see them country boys, they got the big trucks. Everybody got the big trucks. You go out to the South, same thing, the big rims. It's like everybody kind of want to show off in their own way. You go out to the inner cities, it's about the material, the clothes. It's about, so everybody kind of wants to show off. So people aren't as simple for the most part. People aren't as simple. I feel like out in the UK, I like stuff like this house, right? I like stuff like these houses. I'm not really into too many big houses like that. I like the simple stuff. But those closets definitely come in handy, especially if you got a lot of stuff. So, I'm not surprised. But there's so much, obviously, that I did not touch on. There's a lot I didn't touch on. But I wrote down some notes and just got to some topics that I thought were pretty important. As far as just differences. So, what do you guys think? What do you prefer? You preferring the UK homes and that lifestyle, that more simple lifestyle? Or y'all like that US, everything's bigger kind of mindset? And trust me when I tell you, bigger comes with a price tag. All this comes with a price tag. And that's also why, if y'all seen my vlog the other day where I talked about, the UK the footsteps and the American pretty much trails, I was comparing them. I feel like that's why Americans ain't really, they don't really do the footsteps. The farmers who have acres, they don't do that because, once again, it's a leave me alone, competitive, stay away type of mindset out here, where I feel like in the UK, it's more so about the people. For sure. So that wraps up this vlog, pretty much about the differences. I hope that you guys really got a good look at pretty much an average neighborhood out here in America, and really get a good glimpse, if you've never been out here, on what it's like. So with that being said, much love. I'm looking forward to the comments, and I'm looking forward to learning something. So I'll see y'all soon. Enjoy your day. I definitely enjoy the look of the single family home houses out here in America. I like more space, even though this neighborhood I'm at right now, it's just a little bit of space. It's not like completely just next to each other to the point where it's wall to wall, but I personally prefer some more space. Like, how you guys doing today? Like, for example, that White House right there is that has a lot of space right there between the other White House. Definitely like that. This would be considered the American dream out here. Making it to a neighborhood like this. This is what people work hard for. All day, all night. This is what they slave for. This is what they get up and they work. Some people 9, 10, 11 hours a day. Some people working 60 hours a week in order to live like this. It's nice, it's beautiful. See, like this right here is, this is really, really nice. I definitely appreciate The space, look at that, the space. I'm not a wall-to-wall kind of guy. Usually in America, when it's wall-to-wall, it's more so something called the projects, which is like public housing, low or affordable housing, but usually where you see more people who are on like welfare, and that's something that's frowned upon in America. When you have a lot of space, that's usually what people want. That's usually what people smile at. That's what people want to hear. That's like, okay, you made it. They have a term out here. I'm not sure if they use it much in the UK, but it's a term called like, oh, keeping up with the Joneses. Like, there's a lot of people out here trying to keep up with the Joneses. It's beautiful though. I think one of the next videos that I'm gonna do is gonna be like the house price comparisons. Like, I'll probably go around the neighborhood and just show what houses are for sale. Say like a 3-bedroom house, and then compare it to a very similar 3-bedroom house in the UK, and just see the big price differences. I love that gargoyle. Like, I'm not sure if you guys can see it too much in the video, but they have a gargoyle. And you best believe that gargoyle is protecting that house. But yeah, guys, this is really the average right here as far as the space between the homes.